until January 31st. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
It's happening. Ramadan is almost here and Al-Ansar shop is ready. Fresh dates have arrived. Pure, blessed Zamzam water is in stock. And all your Ramadan essentials are waiting for you. From iftar favorites to thoughtful gifting ideas for family and friends. Get prepared early. Beat the rush. Stock your home with barakah and blessing this Ramadan. Visit Al-Ansar shop today. Call 031-208-1601. Al-Ansar shop, your one-stop Islamic shop.
Radio Al-Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. You are the greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you, the final prophet. He led the way, so we stay true. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala
12 minutes past 1 o'clock on the 22nd of January 2026. This has been my favorite January so far. If we trace back the past 3 years, this January is flying and I love it. Okay, I think it's going very fast. You might disagree. You're more than welcome to voice your views. It is Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani, your weekly guide to navigating the world of careers. This is a 1-hour powerhouse show where we dive deep into the career options available for you locally and globally. On this show, we talk about all things that affect us as a society in the name of work, in the name of job, in the name of employment. Like I said, I'm your host, Kelly Ramazani, and I'll be keeping you company up until 2 o'clock. That's every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m., only on 90.4 FM if you are in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB, and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, so do check us out. You can visit the Al-Ansar page, and I'm sure you'll be able to see us there. Now, the question that we're asking you today is, what is that one thing you wish you'd learned or be taught in school? You know, that one thing after you finish school, you're like, if only they had taught me that, or if only they taught me this, or if only, you know, they could have told us more about this. You would figure life out, so you would navigate through life easier. What is that one thing? Talk to us on 0609041056. Last week, we spoke about what could be the possible causes, the possible causes of why the boy child is falling behind. And I shared my thoughts, calling on all silent good men in our community to break the silence, to be involved in mentorship programs, to be involved in, upbringing or raising our children, especially the boy child. But I also spoke about how it stems from home, and most of the upbringing that parents do, raising the male child different from the female, has resulted to what we are facing now. It's a big debate that's happening nationwide. What are some of the causes as to why the boy child is falling behind academically? But not just academically, we also know in society that there is a huge gap between the progress of a male and a female, academically, socially, having emotional intelligence, being self-aware, contributing to the environment. And I know, yes, the numbers are different. There's a difference in the numbers. There's more females than males, but nevertheless, there is a huge problem that the Minister of Basic Education has brought up to us as a country. And now everybody is speaking about this, and we're all trying to find ways to find solutions to this matter. You can join in the discussion on 060-904-1056. What do you think is the cause as to why the boy child is falling behind? But today we're talking about things that you wish you'd learned earlier in school, especially financial literacy. Like me at my big age, I'm struggling to save, to budget, because I wasn't taught this in school. And I'm not blaming my teachers. You guys are great, but I'm indirectly saying that our education system is not producing people or students that will survive the real world. It's just theory, nothing practical that you can apply to and survive. That's my take. But you can let me know what you have to say on 060-904-1056.
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056.
You've arrived at your destination.
You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al-Ansar.
My youth passed by so quickly, left all my dreams in the backseat. We used to dream with paper planes, wrapped in a cape, planning our escape. Scars on my skin, learn from my mistakes. Tears in my eyes, wiped up from my face. The sun disappears till I hear my name. 'Cause mama calling out, I'm an hour late. The older I get, the harder I fall. My dreams were so big, even though I was small. I was told that I can't, I'm still gonna try. I'm up in the clouds, with no wings I'ma fly. Oh, fly away, hey, hey, fly away, hey, hey, fly away, hey, hey, fly away. Oh, fly.
Every single place I go, people call me foreign. Laying low lately, that don't mean I can't be sorry. Other side of the globe, somewhere I ain't never been. I was searching everywhere, forgot to look within. Now I understand the world is bigger than the block. Used to play hot lava, posted at the park. Now my Akis carry lava cause the block is hot. Where did all the years go? Can't change the past, but our future yet to unfold. Gotta keep myself driven, never neutral. I've been writing with a purpose, so I speak it for my soul. Gotta do this for my youngest till the day I die. Even if I don't succeed, I can say I tried. You see a smile, cause the pain we just tryna hide. Just tryna show my people you don't need no wings to fly. The older I get, the harder I fall. My dreams were so big, even though I was small. I was told that I can't, but I'm still gonna try. Now I'm up in the clouds, with no wings I'ma fly, fly away, fly away, fly away. Oh, fly.
And that is it. Fly away. You're on 90.4 FM Radio Al-Ansar. It is Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
For too many communities across Africa and the world, access to clean water remains a dream. At Africa Muslims Agency, we dig deep, reaching into the heart of the earth to fill the cups of those in need. Sponsor a water well for 16,500 Rand, or a borehole in Afghanistan for 55,000 Rand, or Africa for 65,000 Rand, or any amount. With water comes food, health, education, and growth. An ongoing reward with Africa Muslims Agency.
Every day, thousands go to bed hungry. But you can change that. With just 10 Rand, you can provide a loaf of bread. This bread is more than just a donation, it is a lifeline for so many families in need. Be part of the Al Ansar Outreach Slice of Life drive today. Call Outreach on 031 208 1601 and make a difference one loaf at a time.
Imagine this. Lunchtime hits and you pull out bub and cabbage. Or that same sad sandwich mom made when you went to school. Eesh. Now flip the script with the Debonairs Pizza Real Deal range. You get 6 meaty flavors that turn boring into brilliant. Barbecue Macon, Debonairs Chicken, Russian, and more. Enjoy more with... Choose one of 6 meaty Real Deal flavors for just 29 Rand 90 each. Debonairs Pizza. Try something amazing.
A year from now, your child will be older. The question is, will they be work ready or still unsure? At Keyline, we don't teach theory-heavy degrees. We teach practical digital design skills for the real world. Our 1-year digital communication design program is hands-on, industry-aligned, and built around multidisciplinary content creation skills designed to get learners job ready. Enroll now. Applications for limited seats are open. Visit keyline.co.za or call 031 312 8560. Keyline.
Follow us on Instagram at Radio Al Ansar.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
Radio Al Ansar.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد.
Welcome back to Career Campus with me, Kelly Ramazani, every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m. on 90.4 FM Radio Al Ansar. Now, earlier before the break, we were speaking about causes of the boy child. A message came in saying that it's the mothers. This is my favorite part about being a member of society or community. I don't know. It's just like we heading left, you're turning right. We're turning right, you're turning left. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to be diplomatic in my response, but come on now, seriously. Nevertheless, you're welcome to share your opinion with us on 0609041056. Now, it is the second week of protest by the March to March, known as the Dula movement, over school admissions that they claim to be unfair, and that majority of the children being enrolled in the school, specifically the Eddington Primary School, are largely foreigners, foreign nationals. However, the KZN Education rejects this, and it argues back that a small minority of pupils, both South African and foreign, lack the required documentation. Now, yesterday, I'm not sure if you've seen the videos trending on the internet. Yesterday, while classes were in session, officials were present at the school, and there were angry demonstrators using water and tear gas to diffuse the situation that was slightly violent. Okay. Now, Muzi Mahlambi, a department spokesperson, condemned the high level of violence that were observed by the protesters as a result of protesting, which should have been peaceful. But this is my take, right? Yes, you are trying to prioritize South Africans first, as we should, because South Africa is a sovereign country and its first priority should be its citizens. However, there's a way that we need to conduct ourselves. You have the right to protest. You don't have the right to a violent protest. You don't have the right to hate speech. You don't have the right to attack somebody else, let alone a child, guys. These are minors. These are kids that are going to school, and they are witnessing this kind of violence that is traumatizing them. I feel like the message is being lost the way this protest is being carried out. The message is being lost in the way that this matter is being handled. And to me, it's a complete no. Not that I am a foreign national, but no, because you cannot disrupt an education system and traumatize a child and then claim that you're within your rights to speak as a citizen. It just doesn't make sense, because the same message that you are trying to convey is going against the constitution of this country that you love so much. So you're contradicting yourself in the process. You understand? So that's my take. Speaking about education, there has been some good news there, because the KZN Department of Education has received an additional funding of 640.9 million. So let's say 641 million rands to address budget difficulties in school. Lots of teachers have been addressing the issues that they face in the classrooms, the payroll itself. There are lots of students, less resources. It's difficult to, teach in these situations. I believe this would be a good start for many schools to be able to compensate teachers and also to support staff and resources. However, the big topic that we will one day address is the difference in quality education between public schools and private schools. There is a huge difference, and it boils down to the first year tertiary dropout rate. Okay, it's scary, it's staggering high, and this is because some high schools do not equip the learners to face the real world, to prepare themselves, or to prepare them rather to face the world. Because when you go to university after high school, you're given this enormous amount of freedom, and if you do not have discipline, if you do not have a vision of who you want to be or where do you see yourself, you're gonna get lost in that, what do you call that? I think you already know what I'm trying to say here. So I feel like it is up to the schools to prepare learners to take on the world, not just locally, but globally as well. And especially with the global market, you need to be able to balance both worlds, your social life as well as your personal or your private, your professional is what I'm looking for, your professional life. So if you fail to be disciplined or to find a balance, it will hinder your progress, it will hinder your growth, and it will affect your work opportunities. That's all I have to say. Coming up next is our soft skill for the week. Last week we spoke about pattern recognition, how important it is for you to identify trends, to be able to notice sequence and repetitions in data and behavior so that you're able to find a solution. This week we're going to talk about boundaries. I think it's a very important soft skill to have that many of us overlook. Just because you have access to your manager or your supervisor or your chairman or whoever, that's part of the upper management, just in case you have access to them and you have lunch and brunch and dinner and whatever else, it doesn't mean you should carry that relationship into the workplace. Okay, because it can get very personal instead of professional, and we witness that in the workplace. Like the two of you are going on like we're non-existent. Yeah, it's a workplace, even though you are friends with so and so and they're in a good position or they're in a high position. That relationship you'll have outside of work should be kept outside of work. When it interferes with the work, then it positions you in a very tight spot, in a very unprofessional spot. We'll talk more about that right after this. Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
From the heavens high above, you brought a message down with love.
Through the messengers you chose to guide the hearts that only the darkness knows. أرسلت لنا الهدى من طريق الأنبياء يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين. Every heart that lost its way found its path in what you gave. Through the words the prophet spoke, guiding hearts that only the darkness knows. عن طريق الأنبياء يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين. أنت الرحمن أنت الرحيم أرسلت الهدى للعالمين للعالمين. أرسلت الهدى عن طريق رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين يا رحمتك للعالمين.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg 105.6 FM.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. You are the greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you, the final prophet. He led the way, so we stay true. I give my all.
27 minutes to 2 o'clock. It is Career Compass on this beautiful Thursday, the 22nd of January 2026. Like I mentioned earlier in the opening of the show, that I absolutely love this January. It's going very fast. Just now it'll be payday. Okay. If you are like me, you live paycheck to paycheck, you get excited for payday. But then again, Career Compass is a show that was meant to empower the listeners. And we used to talk about soft skills, which alhamdulillah, most of you did implement and try out the recommendations that we gave out. And there were good reviews, there were good feedback. However, most of the opportunities that we have, especially those that are remotely, are not applicable in South Africa. Maybe they are, or they might be, but there's not a market for it. Okay, so that's the reason why we stopped. It's not because we didn't want to plug you guys. Okay, we love empowering people. That's the purpose of the show. However, for those that wanted side hustles that could that wouldn't crash or clash with their current employment, it became a bit difficult because most of it would require you to do it online. And now with the online opportunities, especially the e-commerce world, in South Africa, it's still developing. Okay, there's been progress, yes, but it's not it's not as massive or as huge or as big as it is compared to developed countries. But alhamdulillah, we are seeing lots and lots of progress. And inshallah, in the next few years, maybe we'll reach there. We'll reach there. The other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention before we continue with the soft skill of boundaries is that AI has been very helpful in many ways, okay, in businesses, in education, and lots of people have been seeing how easy life has become with the help and aid of AI. However, we have reached a point where we've become heavily dependent on AI for anything and everything, to a point where we are no longer able to put one and one together and form a two. Okay. And so right now there is a trend which is called what is this trend called? I forgot the name, but it's like less usage of AI, okay, for companies, for schools, for individuals themselves. The lesser you use AI in art, in promotional videos, in marketing, in your way of living, okay, the better. However, let's be honest, it's not gonna happen just like that. So instead of going cold turkey and deactivating or deleting all your AI apps that you have, it would be advisable to just reduce the usage instead. Okay, take it one step at a time. I use AI every day. It has become part of my life because I'm dealing with so many people and they all requesting for different things from me. It becomes almost impossible for me to attend to all their needs. Okay, so I will need extra hands here and there, and those extra hands, fortunately or unfortunately, is AI. It has helped me tremendously in my work field, and I see progress with it. However, I've learned to also create a barrier and a boundary there where I am not heavily dependent on it. Okay. There are some goodness, I'm not going to lie. There are also some cons to it. There's also lots of dangers to it that we need to be aware of. So if you can carry out a little research, okay, I wish I could tell you more about it, but due to timing, we've got other things to cover. Due to timing, we cannot get into full details. It's important that you learn as a Muslim, as an individual, that life is about balance. Life is about moderation. Whatever you have going on for yourself, don't overuse it to a point you abuse it, you know? Use it when you need it. Use it in certain situations, but don't lose yourself in that process of being heavily dependent on it. And not just AI, but our friendships, our positions, our relationships, whatever it is, you know, you need to create a balance. Okay. Now, coming back to the boundary as a soft skill, why boundaries are needed. I believe that even in marriages, and I know there was a time that I shared this on air and somebody was like, no, because once you get married, you belong to your partner, your spouse. I don't agree to that. I seriously do not agree to that. You're an individual, they're an individual. We come together as a whole without losing ourselves in each other. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it makes sense. So I believe that even in a relationship, you should have boundaries. As a human being, you should have boundaries. There should be a red tape somewhere there where you're like, okay, so I don't like being yelled at, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. You communicate your boundaries, okay? You should have boundaries. So it is important. Now, I'm not talking about relationship, I'm talking about the workplace. It is important to have boundaries in the workplace. It is to protect your image. It is to protect your career. It is to protect your sanity, because we live in a world of takers and givers, and some takers know no limit. Okay, they will take and take and take until there is nothing in you to give, and they will still take. Okay, so it's very important for you to lay boundaries. We spoke about it some time back. If your manager or your boss is calling you after working hours, especially around 10, 11, 12, you can address it politely and say, I appreciate the call, but can we talk about this maybe tomorrow, Or if you want to be petty and silly like me, let's say it would be very nice if you called me with work-related matter during working hours. But don't try and be like me. Okay. No, I'm serious. You need boundaries. It's important for you. Okay. And the other thing that I also want to inform you is that, like we said before the break, if you have a good connection or good relationship with your manager or your, supervisors or whoever outside of the workplace, it is important to also notice that that relationship does not fit in the workplace. Okay. It does not fit in the workplace. Reason being, it's a different environment. It's a different setting. Okay. So if you can just tone it down a little bit, we know you're connected, you're heavily connected. We know that, but you don't have to make it visible that, hey, me and my manager, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out outside of work. Sounds very unprofessional. And people will think whatever they want to think. Okay. And you can't stop them from that. So do not be the cause of people starting fitna. Okay, don't be the cause of fitna. You can have a good relationship with somebody in your workplace without having it to be known by every single person. All right, that's what I came to tell you today. Boundaries are very important in the workplace, not just in terms of you as a human being, as an individual, but in terms of your emotional as well. There are people that will try you and will test you and they'll push your buttons. It's good to speak out before you do anything crazy, because here on this show, we don't believe in the culture of confrontation in the workplace. We don't believe in that. Okay. There's a HR for a reason. You cannot keep approaching every single person. I heard you said this about me. I heard you said this about me. I heard you said. You're going to be a nuisance. Nobody's going to want to deal with you. Nobody's going to want to be around you. Okay. And I'm not saying be dismissive or avoidant, but I'm saying be strategic in how you address matters in the workplace. That's it for this week. All right. We got corporate etiquettes that we are going to be sharing with you. Last week, we spoke about how it is important to know who is who in the workplace, because there are times where people come here, right, at Al-Ansar, and they say to me, I want to speak to the manager. And I'm like, okay, no problem. But what is it with regards to? And they tell me, no, last week we couldn't pick up reception. Last week, we couldn't hear this show. We couldn't hear that show or whatever. And I'm like, that's not a manager-related matter. That's an IT matter. That's we have a technical department. I can maybe, ask our head of IT to assist you with it. No, I'm going to speak to the manager. But now I'm here in this organization. I'm telling you, that's not a manager-related matter, So it wouldn't make sense to take out my manager who's in a meeting and say, hey, can you come in here? Somebody here who wants to speak about weak connection or weak reception that they couldn't get in the area. And he will look at me like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, this matter could have been handled by anybody else, even you. So it's very important to understand how the workplace work. There's a chain of command. There's also a hierarchy with people with different titles and responsibilities. So when you are sending out an email or when you are calling an organization or even when you're visiting, it's important to carry out a little research. Okay, just Google it, see if you find it. If not, then call in and say, hey, I have a query. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Who would be the right person that I speak to? Or who do I speak to with regards to this and that? Or who is in charge of this and that? So it makes it easier. And I'm sharing this with you because I had an experience that happened recently. I was in communication with the Home Affairs. And I'm constantly typing to them paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs. And they're not responding. So I'm like, you know what? Let me follow up. And I'm following up. Still no response. And then thank goodness there was a good person or somebody had a good day that day. And they said, ma'am, unfortunately, this is this department. We don't deal with that. About your matter, send an email to this department. So they gave me the email address. And when I sent that email, guess what? I got a response in less than half an hour. And it just blew my mind. It's like, so all this time, I was addressing a different department. Well, of course, they could have forwarded to the relevant people, but then some people are dealing with lots and lots and lots of mails. Like, you are one individual. They're dealing with a large number of people. They're dealing about 500 in a day or 1,000 or more than 1,000 in a day. So for them to say, oh, this person made a mistake, let me just forward it to the relevant people. It's not possible. Okay. So they would rather just leave out whatever matter that doesn't concern them and address only the matters that concern that department. You get it? So that is an experience I had. And I thought to myself, and I'm like, maybe many people are actually experiencing this. You know, you're sending emails and you're not getting any response because you're addressing it to the wrong people. It's as simple as that. So it's important to carry out a lot of research, get to find out. Hierarchy is not about fear. It's about respect. It's about knowing who is who where. Okay. So once you have that knowledge, it helps you and you will get feedback, the feedback that you want, hopefully. And it helps you to navigate workplaces confidently because now you can address your matter to this person. When I got back the response from that department that I sent in my query, I was even embarrassed. Because I took out my frustrations in the wrong department, you know, and now I have to like forward it to the relevant department. I was like, damn it, that was a mistake I made. So I hope you won't do that mistake. I see a message here. Let's open it and say, hey, so, hi, Kelly. Welcome to Career Campus. My salams and du'as to you and your family. I love this. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to Career Campus. You welcoming me to my show. I welcome you to Career Campus. Family and Du'as, beautiful opening. Nasheed, you play beautiful Nasheed and Knots, a top classic education show. You've got children, those who have got children. My granddaughter in a very small, grade 6. Oh, okay. Thank you. Then the message continues to say, you're very smart and very active, girl, on social. Like Salma Kazi. Oh yeah, Salma Kazi is great. Hey? She's really amazing. I love her too. I really love you with beautiful smiling face and so cheerful. Dress is very beautiful and Islamically modesty. I absolutely love your style. Well done to you. And this comes from Sarah Bibi Mustafa Parag. Thank you so much for your message, Sarah Bibi Mustafa Parag. Here's another message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Same thing happened to me. You see, I'm not the only one. These things happen where you're taking your frustration in the wrong department and you are typing and you are typing and you are typing. And whoever is reading this is like, you know what, not today, please. I don't have time for this. I wish we had more people like the lady that responded to my message. I was highly grateful and I was very, very thankful for her because she responded by saying, unfortunately, this is not the relevant department that deals with this matter. For your query, email this department. And I was like, oh, thank you. And when I sent them the email, they responded right away. That's when I knew I responded. I sent the email in the right department. Well, that's it for the social etiquette. We'll talk more later. Not later, next week. With regards to the red pill content that we spoke about in the opening and how this has always been originally marketed as self-empowerment, but often fosters toxic ideologies, and especially for the young guys, and how this is resulting in many downfalls for young men where they are becoming fathers and husbands or employers, and they walk around with this inflammatory ego because of red pill content. So we'll talk about that right after this.
We'd love to meet you. Pay us a visit. Radio
Woke up with the light, the sky so blue above my eyes. With a thankful heart, today is another brand new start. I feel so positive, just wanna do my best to show this world I'm living in all of the love that I can give you. Many things that I can do, many things, yeah. You make me feel so close to you, to you, to you, to you. Within my heart, can be removed. Within my heart, when I'm loving you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Every day's a good day. I put my life in your hands, Allah. You will always lead my way. Oh, every day's a good day. I give my life to you, Allah. You will always lead my way. I love this morning breeze. Love how it can revive my soul. I'm so glad to be surrounded by the people I know, filled with happiness. Just wanna give my all and be all that I can be. Share all my love and energy. Yeah, many things that I can do. Many things, yeah, can make me feel so close to you, to you, to you, to you. Oh, within my heart, can be removed. Within my heart, right now, loving you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Every day's a good day.
Right now, over 150 million children around the world are orphaned, facing hunger, hardship, and uncertainty. With Islamic Relief's Orphan Sponsorship Program, you can provide a child with access to education, nutritious food, essential healthcare, and a safe home. Your sponsorship is not just support, it's hope, security, and a brighter future. Be the reason an orphan child smiles again. Sponsor an orphan today with Islamic Relief.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أزرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفس كربهم، داو جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
The names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is proudly brought to you by Turkiya, the Modest Boutique, 580 Ridge Road, Demure Couture for the discerning.
And al-wali means the protective friend. That's what it's generally translated as. It's so much more than that. But we see it manifest in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf is protected from two point-blank headshots. One is a spiritual one and the other is a physical. The physical one is his brothers trying to kill him. 10 brothers, all older, trying to kill him. And they have control over him. They've taken him away from the protective arms of his father. And there's no way where he's supposed to be able to survive that. But yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-wali, diverts their harm away from him in the last moment. And the second is a spiritual. The wife of Al-Aziz locks the doors and she's beautiful. And men rarely are able to protect themselves from that type of temptation, and yet Yusuf alayhi salam is protected by al-wali from that spiritual harm. And so Yusuf alayhi salam recognizes Allah's protection over him. At the culmination of the story, he says, Anta waliyi fi dunya wal akhirah. You are my wali in this world and the next. Tawaffani musliman wa alhiqni bis salihin.
The names and attributes